So yesterday, Facebook announced that they were going to purchase the mobile messaging application WhatsApp for a whopping $19 billion. So I wanted to put together a quick video discussing this purchase, why Facebook was willing to spend this kind of money on WhatsApp, what exactly WhatsApp is, what its function is, why Facebook needed to purchase this, and the pros and cons of the deal. And, ultimately, whether or not this was a good purchase for Facebook. So Facebook is giving $19 billion for WhatsApp, but understand that this is not in cash. So they're paying $4 billion in cash, which is still a substantial amount of money for Facebook. They're only going to bring in probably about $10 billion in total revenue in 2014. So to shell out $4 billion in cash is nothing to, brush off. And they're going to give away $12 billion in stock and $3 billion in stock options to make that $19 billion total. And, it does help that Facebook stock's very valuable at the moment. It's trading very high. It's got a good multiple. So they're able to get their $19 billion is definitely going further than it would have, say a year ago. And this purchase itself, according to Zuckerberg, was about growth and not revenue. They're not paying $19 billion for WhatsApp's $1 a year registration fee. They're not counting on WhatsApp bringing them in $19 billion. Instead, what they're counting on is the fact that WhatsApp has 250 million users and is adding 1 million users every day, that it's quickly going to become an extremely dominant form of mobile communication, and it already is. So that's what they want. That's what they're buying. The question is whether or not that owning that much mobile communication is really worth $19 billion. That's a lot of money. By comparison, one of my favorite stocks, Chipotle, who is considered a high-priced stock despite the fact they have 1,700 locations or so and are very profitable. Their total market cap, even after their run, is under $19 billion. So $19 billion is a lot of money for a mobile phone application that probably is going to make $500,000 in revenue in the next year. So in this slide, I want to talk about exactly what is WhatsApp, in case you aren't familiar with it, and its potential for what it can do for Facebook, and what it could do even if Facebook didn't buy it. And what WhatsApp is a mobile messaging application. It sends text, picture, files, and video via data that could be, either Wi-Fi or 3G or 4G. And it sends it out that way rather than as a traditional SMS text message. So it's not going through the phone per se, it's data transmitted. And as a result, it doesn't take up any text messages. But even better, you can send larger files and pictures and videos. You can record a video, send it live, right to somebody else, right through the chat. They can download it via data. And the most interesting thing about this is not only does it not take up text messages and lets you send more files, but users can form chats with other users of up to 50 people. So somebody could get together with a group of 10 of their friends and have a chat where they take a picture of, something funny, or they record a video, like a hello or whatever. They can post in that chat, and then everyone in that chat can then immediately download that and view that in real time and respond to that. So it's a really good way for small groups of people to keep in touch. And I'm actually a user of this application, a group of friends of mine from college that a lot of whom I probably wouldn't have kept touch with if it wasn't for this app, all communicate on a daily basis in one of these chats. We're able to really follow each other's lives and stay close, even though we don't see each other. We only see each other a couple times a year. And this the chat feature is able to do things to keep people together in a way that Facebook really can't. So it does have some overlapping function with Facebook with the chat functionality. And since it has 450 million monthly users, it's huge. It's the second most popular social type of app after Facebook, and it's adding approximately 1 million new users every day. So WhatsApp is likely to approach and possibly even surpass the monthly active users of Facebook within the next several years, especially as smartphones continue to proliferate. And it's now actually estimated that more messages are sent through WhatsApp than are sent as traditional SMS text messages. So WhatsApp has effectively replaced the text message for most cell phone users. Currently, 20 billion messages are sent out via WhatsApp to 50 billion are processed daily. And the process daily means that, let's say, if you're in a chat of, you got 9 or 10 friends in a chat and you send a message, that one message gets counted 10 times. It's processed for 10 users. So that's why there's the discrepancy there. So, the average message sent on WhatsApp occurs between 2.5 users. So as a result, some of the application is chat-based, but most conversation right now is one-on-one. But I think over time that the chat feature of WhatsApp is really where they're going to get a lot of growth, even after they've added most cell phone users. And just compare this popularity to Twitter. Twitter boasts 500 million tweets daily versus 220 billion messages sent. That's a difference of 40 times. Granted, I'm not sure if Twitter is counting, private messages or direct messages or retweets in that, but 20 billion original messages created through WhatsApp compared to 50 million tweets. It's a huge difference. And Twitter is valued at $30 billion right now. Granted, I think Twitter is disgustingly overvalued. That still doesn't make WhatsApp at 19 billion doesn't look so bad. It has 50% more users, 40 times the messages, and 2/3 the price. So let's talk about why Facebook needed to make this purchase. And I talked about it a little bit before. It's that WhatsApp actually does have a lot of overlapping functions with Facebook. It's really the only application out there, aside from Instagram, which Facebook already owns, which could potentially replace Facebook. Like I was saying with my group of college friends, I actually keep in touch with them through WhatsApp, not through Facebook. I don't use Facebook to keep in touch with my close friends, whereas I use WhatsApp to do so. It's private. I'm posting directly to my friends. If I want to say something to someone in particular, it's easy to message them directly. It's not like Facebook where you're sharing it with all your friends. Like Facebook is better for this sort of, managing acquaintances, whereas WhatsApp chats are more convenient for managing close friends. So there's a difference there. And right now, Facebook's kind of got the monopoly on that whole thing. And just to mention the other apps in comparison to this, consider something like Twitter. Twitter is not good with keeping in touch with friends. It really doesn't have a huge social function with friends. Instead, it's more about interacting with celebrities, following news stories, discussing events in real time, often with strangers. It's not really a good platform for keeping up with your friends. And that's kind of where Instagram came along. Twitter and Instagram together can kind of, perhaps offer a similar experience to Facebook, but it's still not quite the same thing. Facebook definitely has a longevity factor that the other platforms don't have. So WhatsApp is really, a true threat to Facebook's, friendship communications. So that was one reason Facebook needed to purchase WhatsApp. And I kind of jumped around here, but really, I covered the last 2 bullet points, but really the first 2 bullet points are really what matters. The biggest threat to Facebook is not any one social media company. It's the shift from desktop to mobile. And Facebook was clearly the dominant social network on PC. And if mobile smartphones were never introduced, then Facebook would continue on being the #1 social network on PC. There'd be no reason for people to move. It fulfills all the basic functions. It has the largest network. And as I've explained in past posts and past videos, it's not so easy just to pick up your Facebook account and recreate it on a new service. The service would have to be so much better for people to want to move, leave all their albums behind, leave all their friends behind, and jump over to a brand new service. People are inherently lazy. They're not going to make those kind of changes unless the motivation is enormous. And it's not. There was no reason for Facebook to ever die as long as the PC was the primary means of using the internet. And, you could say, well, what about MySpace? Well, MySpace never had what I would call a critical mass of users, where the real the real asset of Facebook is the fact that everybody's on Facebook. It's not really anything to do with the network. MySpace only had about 100 million users, and a lot of those accounts were spammy and fake. Facebook has 1 billion users. Most people with internet access at least have a Facebook account. They might not be active users, but they have an account. They've logged in before. They've browsed around the site. That network is what makes Facebook, not Facebook's functionality. So it's just too much work to expect 1 billion people to suddenly change platforms, unless there was a reason why they would want to. It would have to be a huge reason, and in this case, it was to jump from desktop to mobile. Facebook was built for the PC, and their mobile app is good, but when it comes to mobile, there's other ways, there's other things that might be more convenient, like WhatsApp. So by buying WhatsApp, Facebook basically conquered all of its desktop functions and now owns the two companies that replicate the same things on mobile devices. Instagram is, a very popular way for video and picture sharing mobile, and WhatsApp is is the most popular text-based communication for mobile. So between these two services, Facebook now has its own platform on mobile, plus these other two platforms. It has the main competition on mobile as well. It owns all three. So it doesn't ever have to worry about not owning this space, at least, in the near future. So it's moving on. Really, so we know why Facebook needed to purchase. They needed to make the jump between desktop and mobile. And just to refresh on the last, I missed the second bullet. And this threat's real. And just consider Microsoft as an example. They did not make the jump to smartphone. They stayed at desktop, and look where they're at. They're not in a good spot. Microsoft, 5 years from now, their future does not look bright. As smartphones and tablets become more popular, Microsoft is not in a great spot. And Facebook's very proactively trying to make this jump, whereas Microsoft was very passively, just worrying about its desktop products without making the transition to the next big thing. So there's a couple pros and a major con to this purchase. So the major pro is that Facebook now has the largest presence in social media in the mobile space. Instagram, which is Facebook owned, has 150 million users. WhatsApp has 450 million users. Both services are growing. They have a much larger reach than Twitter. And Snapchat is not even close. They're not even on the radar, as far as I'm concerned. Snapchat, the reason I'm not big on Snapchat is because I don't see them as a Facebook replacement. They're more of an accessory. People use Snapchat to share pictures that they would not want to post on Facebook because they're inappropriate or they're funny or they're goofy, whatever. So people aren't going to stop using Facebook for its core functions to send out goofy pictures. Whereas, between Instagram and WhatsApp, now they have those were apps that offered real presence on on mobile in the social media space. Facebook owns both now, so not even counting their own platform, which is popular in mobile, they have the largest mobile presence. And they also now have no real threats. And the rise of mobile has always been the proverbial albatross around Facebook's neck. If Facebook can finally say they've transitioned to mobile successfully, they have their own successful mobile platform, they have Instagram, and they have WhatsApp. They have multiple of the most popular social media tools on mobile devices. So Facebook now owns mobile with this purchase. And the major con is that they paid $19 billion. And with all that said, I think that it was worth it for Facebook. They had to make this purchase because WhatsApp was the one thing out there that could potentially threaten Facebook in the future. So by effectively eliminating this threat, I feel like there's no real threats left for Facebook out there. Sure, an application may start and start to take interest away from some of these other properties, but it doesn't. It seems like Facebook's now successfully transferred to mobile. It's not something they're going to be able to do again. They're not going to be able to routinely buy companies for $20 billion. So these costly acquisitions do need to come to an end. But overall, I think this was a great purchase for Facebook. I think somebody needed to buy WhatsApp. I really think Twitter needed to buy WhatsApp, but I don't think they could afford it, given that Facebook just paid $20 billion for them, and Twitter's only worth $30 billion. So that's about it for this video. So you know what WhatsApp is, why Facebook needed it, why they spent so much money on it. And hopefully Facebook can enjoy its success from all the properties it's in and actually make some money for its shareholders. Build up some equity and actually put some cash in the bank so it can more easily purchase new companies in the future as it needs to.